X-Men is a 2000 I believe, movie. Yeah, it stars Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine, Patrick Stewart as Professor X, and Ian McKellen as Magneto. Bunch of other mutants, bunch of other actors. Okay, cool stuff. So basically, this movie follows the mutants. Mutants are basically just humans who have some weird evolutionary traits where basically they evolved to have all these weird characteristics. Like some can walk through walls, others can just create ice cool things. And the main guys we're following, there are two in particular we follow. The first one is this girl who calls herself Rogue, who basically, when she touches someone, she absorbs their life energy and briefly their mutant powers if they're a mutant. And it also follows Wolverine, who basically, he's this mutant who many years ago had this experimentation done on him, which made his skeleton pretty much engulfed in this fictional metal called adamantium, which makes it all strong. And he also has regenerative healing powers, which pretty much makes him immortal. He's also got these claws. They're just like terrible representation, I know. Whatever. And yeah, he's kind of just living out his days, you know, just trying to find his purpose, even though he has a lot of memory loss, because he can't remember a lot. Eventually the two meet and then are attacked by the forces of Magneto, who's basically this mutant guy who can control metal, and he doesn't like humans. On the opposite side of the coin, we've got Professor Charles Xavier, who is a mutant who has telepathy, and he can read people's minds and stuff, and control them also. And he likes humans, so basically those two are neck and neck, and Wolverine and Rogue end up going with Professor Xavier to his school for mutants. And I haven't been explaining a lot. Well, that's basically the entire X-Men storyline. It's kind of, you know, that's how it starts, because that's kind of an origin-ish story, even though the X-Men were kind of written so they were just mutants. They don't have an origin story. That's actually what Stan Lee said. I read up on that stuff. But yeah, this is probably the first major superhero movie that didn't really star Superman or Batman, because those were in that territory of, like, they were the most popular superheroes, so they could do them. But the X-Men, they were popular, but not as popular as Batman or Superman. And so this was kind of an interesting experiment they did, and it paid off really well, because I kind of feel like X-Men is like the first comic book movie that really showed you can do a comic book movie of anyone. I mean, I imagine Spider-Man would have had a movie before this if the technology was right for it. And they did have Blade a few years back, but I don't know. I guess that was another one of those movies, but didn't have the same impact as the X-Men, because I guess Blade isn't as well known as the X-Men. But oh well, this is a fun movie. I liked it for what it was. You know, Hugh Jackman is pretty much making his like debut role as Wolverine here. This is what put him on the map. He's great in this role. I really buy him. He's a great actor, and I also like the person who plays Rogue. I don't know who she is. She's good, and everyone else is pretty cool too. Like they got Halle Berry to play Storm, who's basically this mutant who can control the weather and shoot lightning bolts and stuff. Storm, and she's pretty good in the role. And Cyclops, the guy who plays the mutant who can shoot laser beams out of his eyes, it's pretty good too. And Jean Grey as well, who's this also pretty powerful telepath, who's basically the telepathy people. And yeah, though I'm pretty sure her important role is until the third one, I believe. But I don't know, whatever. And the action in this movie is pretty good, I gotta say. It's very well filmed and interesting, and I love, you know, the special effects actually still look pretty good today. They don't look the best, but I still feel they age better than the effects of, like, the first Spider-Man movie, which, I'm not calling that movie bad by any means, but the effects are now kind of dated, you can tell. They're kind of dated here, too, but, yeah, I kind of feel like you can't just tell that much, because it's still a fun movie for that. And you know, again, with the good acting and stuff, and it's pretty faithful to the origin stories, I'm pretty sure, at least. I mean, again, as I mentioned before, when creating the X-Men, Stan Lee was like, I don't want to come up with an origin story for a lot of people, so I'm just going to say they're mutants. They just mutated, and that's how that happened to them. And, you know, it's kind of clever. That's probably something I would do, because I'm pretty lazy myself. But regardless, this is a fun movie. The action works, and the characters are all there. And, you know, it's a basic X-Men versus Magneto storyline, but it works for what it is, because it was the first outing. It was like one of the first major big comic book movies that wasn't Batman or Superman. And that's pretty cool what they did, and they went on to form the whole series with this, because they made a whole bunch of sequels and prequels to this. It's still going on today. And, yeah, I gotta say, the first outing was pretty nice. I had a good time with it. It's not a perfect movie, and it was a little short, I found. It's only an hour and 5 minutes. But at the same time, you know, who cares? As long as I had fun, I had fun. And I had fun with this movie. And I made it a 90%. Can't say a whole lot else about this movie. Not everything's perfect, the script's not the most perfect thing ever. And not everything ages as good as other things, but I don't care. I had fun. That's all I can say with this movie. I had fun. And if you haven't watched it yet, why not? I found it at a garage sale for $2. Along with Unbreakable, the first Shrek movie, and a big compilation of Pink Panther stuff, which I might review one day. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching. Adios, home slices.